Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
With Beetlejuice 2, titled Beetlejuice, coming slowly but surely to theaters real soon, I thought now is a good time to revisit the original film Beetlejuice, which came out in 1988 and directed by Tim Burton. So let's review. Beetlejuice is about the Maitlands, who are abruptly killed in a car accident and are brought back to life by ghosts and are left in the house that they were living in and was about to start a life in. The Deeds move in, but the Maitlands are not fond of the Deeds except for their daughter Lydia. So they hire a demon known as Beetlejuice, played by Michael Keaton, to come and terrorize them, but they soon realize that he's not as pure as they thought he is. But along the way, they befriend Lydia and becomes like the daughter that they didn't have a chance to have, and the Deeds hire some people to try to get the Maitlands out of the house, but not if Beetlejuice has something to say about it. Now, to give you some context of my history with Beetlejuice, I vividly remember watching the cartoon back in the day, and that was my first exposure to anything related to Beetlejuice, and then eventually I saw the movie. I think it was on ABC Family. It was on one of the channels back in the day, but I just remember seeing it and thought, that was interesting, but haven't really gone back to watching it. But that's mainly because of Tim Burton, because Tim Burton is just one of those filmmakers that is just not my cup of tea, vibe and tone-wise. I mean, of course, he's made movies that I've enjoyed, mainly his Batman movies that he's made, but anything else outside of that is just acquired taste for me. However, I did watch The Nightmare Before Christmas last year, and I'm starting to get the Tim Burton brand a little bit, and that is further expanded with Beetlejuice, which I watched with adult eyes, and yeah, I further see the vision in Tim Burton as a filmmaker. Essentially, this movie is a family ghost story, which Tim Burton was definitely the one to kick off in the 90s. And plus, his style just works for this movie, and I just admire the practical imagery that he put on display in this film to bring the world of Beetlejuice to life. It's also about a young girl who is kind of an outcast and doesn't fit in, but does find the Maitlands. They're like the parents she's always wanted, or like her own parents. But then by the end, she soon realized there's room for both, and there's room for humans and ghosts, if the humans can see the ghosts, can basically live together. But really, I don't blame Lydia, because her parents, the Deeds, they're kind of despicable people. I mean, her dad, her stepmom, they're both kind of self-absorbed people. Her dad, played by Jeffrey Johns, and her stepmother, played by Catherine O'Hara, hilariously. They're a bit full of themselves, at least until the end of the movie. They do make for some comedic scenes, though. And the Maitlands are played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, and you really feel like there's just this couple that basically lost their lives, and they're trying their best to be scary ghosts, but they're just not. They are pure as hell, even right down to one of my favorite scenes in the movie where Gina Davis's character, she's in the closet, and she's hanging herself, and then she thinks they can see her, but they don't, but she tears her face apart.
God. We just have to pray the other closets are bigger than this one.
You know the scene I'm talking about. When I saw that scene with adult eyes, I'm like, oh shit. And even the world where you meet the sandworms, that is impressive in itself, even for 1998 standards. Now let's talk about Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. This is definitely his movie. This is definitely one of the roles that made him a household name. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if back in the 80s, it's because of this movie that got him the role of Batman. But then again, both of these movies were made by Tim Burton, so what do I know? But Michael Keaton started off as a comedic actor, and this movie was definitely his niche. You can tell he was having fun. Gotta mention some of the music. Two of the songs in this movie, during the climax and the end of the movie, both of them were sung by the late Harry Belafonte. And I've always heard those songs, but now hearing them, I'm like, oh shit, I do know these songs. And hell yeah, I like them. I immediately liked them on my title account. To me, Beetlejuice is one of those movies that I had not seen in a long time, but now watching it, especially with adult eyes, I appreciate the Tim Burton brand and appreciate what this movie was going for. And it's probably just a classic that I came on late to, but yeah. I mean that seriously too, because I was given a Beetlejuice Funko Pop as a souvenir from one of my sisters, and now after watching this movie, I saw the Blu-ray on sale at Walmart, and I'm like, I had to get that. But after seeing this movie, I am more curious than ever to see what Beetlejuice 2 is going to look like. I'm curious to see how Tim Burton is going to continue this world, expand this world, and catch up on these characters that we met in the first film. The performances were great, particularly from Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, who plays Lydia. And Michael Keaton, he's not even in the movie as Beetlejuice as much, but when he's on, he leaves an impact, and it really is just one of those things where he's not in the movie as much, but when you see him, it works. The mystery of just not seeing him is just that much more impactful. Beetlejuice easily gets the heart eyes emoji from me. And until next time,
Nice fucking model!